I'm with Marvin with Wisco, and today he's going to talk about seal coating. It is a very lucrative additional business that it can either be solo business or it can be an additional service onto whatever outdoor service business you're already doing.
True.
Marvin was 18 years old. He saved up enough money to start his own seal coating business, and now he's doing up to $8,000 a day in seal coating driveways. And he's going to teach us how you can do it as well. Marvin, can you just tell us what exactly is seal coating?
Sure. So your asphalt over time loses some of the essential aggregate that's on top. You'll notice that it goes from smooth to a little bit rough. And then if you look across your neighbors and theirs is cracked, have potholes, that's from lack of seal coating. So what a seal coating does is goes on top. We use a product, either an asphalt emulsion or a coal tar emulsion, which are essentially the same thing. You layer that on top with a seal coat. That prevents water penetration, which can cause freezing, which can cause cracking and separation. You don't want those cracks in your driveway to then get water and then crack even farther, creating potholes. But also prevents oxidization, which is a main key of drying out and creating alligation, which you can see is a real checkerboarded piece of asphalt. This prevents that, and you can do it every 2 to 3 years to prolong the life of your asphalt up to 30 to 40 years in some cases.
Okay, so for a person that's just getting started and they don't understand half of what you just said, Marvin,
right.
How do they get started launching their own seal coating business?
Sure. The very first important thing is to get educated. I think that's with anything. So there's resources out there. There's a couple great magazines that you can find on this small niche area, which is a great resource. The other resource is a lot of the companies that supply products to businesses like mine create resources as well to help you apply these, mix them right, do everything that you need to do to create a good quality job. And beyond that, I would find a mentor. Find somebody that is willing to help you move along. If you work for one of those companies already and are doing this as a side business, you're already a step ahead of the game.
Oh, for sure. Okay, next, Marvin, I want to talk about 2 levels of investment into the equipment. What's the bare bones that a person that maybe doesn't have anything to get started is going to try to do? And then, if a person is very serious and has a little bit of money to invest and I want to go with a step up, how would they get started then?
Sure.
So let's go bare bones first.
Sure. So we're going to
kind of struggling.
Yeah, that's true. So we're going to say that you have a truck. If you don't have a truck, we're going to say that you bought a truck. So set the money aside for that.
Get a truck, people.
You need more. So start with that. I mean, you could start with buckets, but for the same affordability, you can get a polypropylene tank, which is a plastic tank. You can go to a major distributor, get the material at a very minimal cost.
So you go to a distributor
exactly
that will pour the liquid rubber compound into the propylene tank.
Right. So they'll put an aggregate-based sealer in there, whether it's an asphalt emulsion or beyond. We use one called a polymer modified master seal, which helps stretch a little bit. It lasts a decent amount of time. And then you can start with a hand blower. You don't have to get a nice Billy Goat push blower. You can start with that. A good stiff brush to make sure you get all the dirt clean. It's hard to apply it to a dirty area and make it last. Get some brushes, start squeegeeing that thing on. Be very careful and pay attention to detail because customers love attention to detail.
They're hiring you for attention to detail. And that's that reputation, boy.
Exactly.
I'll tell you, a customer that's happy with you will tell 10 people. A customer that's pissed off at you will tell 100.
Exactly.
And that's a fact. How much was that bare bones setup going to cost them, Marvin?
So I think that they could probably get into that for around $1,500 to $2,000 with a truck. $1,500 to $2,000 will get you creating great quality jobs that then you will be able to use as references. If you get a customer that wants to see one, they have one that they can look at and you can refer them to.
Okay, so then you'll get more business because they can look at the neighbor's driveway.
Exactly.
$1,500 to $2,000, but let's say somebody like yourself has been saving up and they're looking at what business should I get into, and they're thinking maybe seal coating is for them, and they got a little bit more money to invest beyond bare bones. What do they do? How much should they think about investing?
Sure. So once you get to that point to where you're doing jobs, start to set aside some money to reinvest. Reinvest in either another truck or nicer equipment to create a better quality job. You need to become efficient. That's the thing. Because once you start getting a fair amount of jobs, you're going to want to do more jobs in a day, thus creating a greater profit margin. You're going to check out some of that equipment, some of those real nicer rigs, which I know you'll start to see and notice when you get into this field. Price those out. They're going to be pretty expensive, but they're very reliable. You'll find that out for sure.
So what do you think a person should save up to get into maybe a nicer setup?
Sure. So there are manufacturers that make those units that have the hot melt rubber for the cracks. They have one of those on a hot melt pot. They have a hydraulic agitated tank, 500 to 1,000 gallon tanks should do for anybody. And those are all on one unit, and they are above $10,000 or more, I would say.
You continually reinvest. Hell, I've been in
Exactly.
business, I'm 45 years old, I've been doing this since I was 13, so for 32 years I started with zero. I continually reinvest today.
Right,
That is something that never technically stops. You're always striving to improve.
exactly.
So now we go into some of the understanding the technical components of this business. You go over to Marvin's channel because we just literally broke the tip of the iceberg on what the seal coating industry holds. The potential is there. We know an idea what it is, and the potential market making up to $8,000. You've made up to $8,000 in a day with just two guys.
Exactly.
With just two guys, he's done it. He didn't start with a silver spoon in his mouth. Go over to Wisco. You have your own
Exactly.
YouTube channel.
Yep, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, our Facebook group, my page. You can get a hold of me. Whatever you need to do to help advance your situation in your education, we can help you with that.
He's the seal coating guru.
Maybe that might be it. That sounds like a new channel.
Seal coating guru.
Yeah.
But it's WISCOAT.
Right.
Plus you have a Facebook group with almost 400 members now.
Right, and that's been a really great reference. When we were talking about educating yourself, there's guys on there that have done it, that's seen situations that I haven't even been in, that know it doesn't cost you a penny to get educated in that group.
Where's that group at?
That's US Seal Coaters on Facebook.
US Seal Coaters. Okay, perfect. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram.
You got it.
All right, you guys know where to find them. If you're thinking about going into this business,